The city was still half asleep when YN stepped out of her car, heels clicking sharply against the marble steps of K&Y Global. The glass building reflected the gray morning sky, towering and cold, just like the schedule waiting for her inside. Her head throbbed. Not a dramatic pain. No. The dangerous kind. The kind she always ignored. She pressed 2 fingers to her temple, inhaled slowly, and straightened her blazer. You don't get sick, she reminded herself. You don't stop. Inside, employees bowed slightly, greeting her with nervous respect. Good morning, ma'am. YN. Morning, she replied curtly, already walking. Her assistant, Mina, hurried beside her. Ma'am, drive, Kim called twice. YN didn't slow. YN. I know. He said you didn't rest last night. YN. I rested enough. Mina hesitated. He sounded angry. YN scoffed softly. He always does when I don't listen. But she didn't miss the way her stomach twisted. 6 hours earlier, YN. Taehyung's voice had been calm. Too calm. That doctor calm that meant danger. She sat on the edge of the bed, laptop balanced on her thighs, hair tied messily, eyes burning with exhaustion. YN. I'm fine, she said before he could finish. He stood in front of her in his hospital scrubs, arms crossed, jaw tight. Taehyung. You have a fever. YN. It's stress. Taehyung. You fainted in the living room. YN. I stood up too fast. He sighed, rubbing the bridge of his nose. You haven't slept in 2 days. YN. I'm handling 2 companies, Taehyung. Taehyung. And I'm handling an entire hospital, he shot back. Yet I'm not collapsing. She met his gaze stubbornly. Because you listen to your body. I don't have that luxury. His eyes darkened. Tomorrow, he said slowly, you are not going to the office. She laughed lightly. I have a board meeting. Taehyung. I don't care. YN. I'm the CEO. Taehyung. And I'm your doctor, he said firmly. And your husband. She closed her laptop. I'll rest after the meeting. Taehyung. No. She stood up, wobbling slightly, but pride held her upright. Taehyung stepped forward instantly, gripping her arms. Taehyung. Don't, he warned. Don't push me. Her voice softened but remained stubborn. YN. I'll be careful. Present. Board meeting room, 21st floor. The meeting room buzzed with voices, presentations flashing on the screen. YN sat at the head of the table, posture straight, expression sharp. No one would guess her vision blurred slightly. A senior director spoke. If we merge the logistics. The door suddenly opened. Hard. The room went silent. Every head turned. YN froze. Taehyung walked in. Not in scrubs. In a tailored black coat. Hospital ID still clipped to his pocket. Hair slightly messy like he'd come straight from a night shift. His presence alone changed the air. Commanding, calm, terrifyingly controlled. Dr. Kim. Someone whispered. YN stood instantly. Taehyung. What are you doing here? His eyes went straight to her face. Too pale. Too thin. Too stubborn. Taehyung. Meeting, he said flatly. The board members exchanged confused glances. Sir, this is a confidential. Taehyung. I know, Taehyung interrupted coolly. Because my wife is about to collapse in it. Yn's cheeks flushed. I'm perfectly. Taehyung. Sit down. 2 words. Low. Deadly. The room froze. Yn stared at him, shocked, not because he commanded her, but because her body obeyed before her pride could argue. She sat. Taehyung walked closer, stopping beside her chair. You have a fever, he said quietly. Your hands are shaking. Yn. I can handle. You fainted last night. Gasps echoed around the table. Yn clenched her jaw. Taehyung. He turned to the board. Meeting's over. A director stammered, excuse me. Taehyung. My wife needs rest. If there's a problem, you can take it up with me. This company she owns, Taehyung said sharply. Both of them. Silence. He leaned closer to Yn, lowering his voice so only she could hear. Taehyung. I told you not to come. Her eyes burned. You embarrassed me. Taehyung. I don't care. Yn. You undermined my authority. Taehyung. You undermined your health. She whispered fiercely, you can't control me. His gaze softened, but his voice didn't. I don't want to. Then, quieter. I want to protect you. Her breath hitched. He straightened and addressed the room again. She's taking medical leave for today. Reschedule. No one dared argue. One by one, they stood, gathering files, avoiding Yn's gaze. The room emptied. Only them. After the door closed, Yn pushed her chair back and stood. You crossed a line. Taehyung turned slowly. So did you. Yn. I worked my entire life to be respected in that room. Taehyung. And I worked my entire life to save people who thought they were invincible. She swallowed. I'm not a patient. Taehyung. You're my wife. She laughed bitterly. That doesn't give you the right. He stepped closer. Taehyung. You're burning up, he said softly, pressing the back of his fingers to her cheek. She flinched, but didn't move away. She straightened her blazer, lifting her chin. Yn. I'm going back to my office. Taehyung didn't move. I said. You're going to the hospital, he said flatly. Her laugh was sharp. Defensive. Yn. Absolutely not. He turned to face her fully now. His expression wasn't angry. It was worse. Cold. Decided. I wasn't asking. Her pulse spiked. You can't just drag me. He stepped closer. Taehyung. You fainted. Your temperature is high. You're disoriented, he said calmly. You are medically unfit to be here. Yn. I'm the CEO. And I'm suspending you for today, he replied. As your doctor. She stared at him in disbelief. You don't have that authority. Taehyung. I do when your life is at risk. She tried to walk past him. Taehyung blocked her path effortlessly. Move, she snapped. Taehyung. No. Yn. I'll call security. I already did, he said quietly. Her breath hitched. Two security guards appeared at the end of the hall, not aggressive, just alert. Taehyung didn't even look at them. His eyes stayed on her. Escort us to the car, he instructed. YN's voice shook with fury. Taehyung, you are humiliating me. Taehyung, you humiliated your body first, he said. I'm just stopping the damage. She tried to pull away when he reached for her arm. Taehyung. Bad idea. The moment she resisted, her legs buckled. Taehyung caught her instantly, one arm around her waist, the other gripping her wrist firmly. That's enough, he said sharply. She struggled weakly. Let go. Taehyung. No. His grip tightened. Not painful, but unbreakable. You don't get to fight me on this, he said lowly. Not today. Her vision blurred. I can walk. Taehyung. You can barely stand. He didn't wait for permission. With one decisive movement, he lifted her into his arms. Gasps echoed down the hallway. YN. Put me down. She protested, hitting his chest weakly. He didn't flinch. Taehyung. Stop wasting your strength, he said. You'll need it later. She froze. YN. Later. Outside, the car door opened. He placed her inside firmly, buckling her seatbelt himself like she was a child. She was shaking now, not just from fever, but from fear. YN. This is insane, she whispered. You're acting like I don't have a choice. Taehyung. You don't, he replied, closing the door. The drive. Silence filled the car. YN hugged herself, staring out the window, tears burning her eyes. Taehyung. You're scared, she whispered. Hospitals scare me. Taehyung. I know. YN. And needles. Taehyung. I know. Her voice cracked. Then why are you doing this? He glanced at her briefly. Because fear doesn't get to decide whether you live. At the hospital, the moment they entered, the atmosphere shifted. Doctors straightened. Nurses moved quickly. Dr. Kim. They greeted. Taehyung held YN hand and drag her. She took slow steps and walking behind him. Examination room. The door shut. YN stood abruptly. I'm leaving. Taehyung blocked the door. No. YN. I will scream. Taehyung. Go ahead. She stared at him. YN. You wouldn't. He stepped closer, voice low and firm. Sit down. Something in his tone snapped her resistance. She sat on the bed, trembling. He snapped on gloves, grabbing her chart. Taehyung. Vitals first. YN. I don't want injections, she said quickly. He moved in front of her, hands gripping her shoulders firmly. Taehyung. Listen to me, he said. I am in control here. Fighting me will only make this harder. Tears spilled over. YN. You're being scary, she whispered. His grip softened slightly, but he didn't back away. Taehyung. I'm being serious, he replied. There's a difference. Taehyung adjusted his gloves slowly, eyes fixed on the chart in his hand. The numbers already annoyed him. Heart rate elevated, blood pressure borderline, skin burning under his palm when he'd checked her forehead. This fever isn't normal, he said coldly. I need your core temperature. YN stiffened on the hospital bed. You already checked. Taehyung. That was skin temperature. He cut her off sharply, finally looking at her. His gaze was pure authority now. Not husband, not lover, doctor. It's inaccurate. She swallowed. Then use the ear one. His jaw tightened. Not reliable enough in your condition. When realization hit her, her eyes widened in panic. YN. And no. Taehyung. No, I won't do that. Her hands immediately clutched the blanket, pulling it up to her chest like a shield. He sighed, slow and controlled, the way he did when he was trying not to lose patience. Taehyung. YN. This is medical. I don't have time for fear right now. Her voice shook. I'm scared. Please. I don't want that. Don't make me. For a second, the room was silent except for the monitor's steady beeping. Taehyung stepped closer, lowering his voice, not softer, but heavier. Look at me. She did, eyes glossy. I'm not touching you unless you agree, he said firmly. But understand this, if I don't get accurate readings, and your fever spikes, the next step will be blood tests, injections, and you have to admit in hospital. Her breath hitched instantly. YN. And no injections. Then cooperate, he said, not cruel, but unyielding. We'll find another way, but you do not get to walk out of here. She shook her head, tears slipping out. Please, not that way. His expression finally shifted, frustration mixing with concern. He turned her on her stomach ch and quickly pulled her p at nt dollar down and s euro p at rate her bttch euro k and in dollar ert thermometer. YN is wiggling and try to push Taehyung with her hand, then Taehyung hold h euro r both hands with his one hand, another hand is holding thermometer and place his l euro g to her thigh to stop her from moving. Taehyung. Baby, stop wiggling, you will hurt yourself. YN. No. No. Taehyung plz stop, she had tears in her eyes. Taehyung. Baby, it's necessary. Just a mint. After that he pull the thermometer out, and adjust her cloth euro s. YN lay straight and kick his thigh with h euro r leg, still tears in her eyes. Taehyung. Serious baby, what is this behavior YN. I hate you for doing this. Taehyung. Your fever is so high and I want to treat you, otherwise your health gone worse, you have to admit in hospital for days. If you want that, I will not treat you. YN feel happy, think that she is escaped from treatment. But then, Taehyung call nurse. Taehyung. Nurse, she is the patient and you have to give her 2xxx injections and 1 IV drip. YN being shocked and scared. Then the nurse go to take the medicines. YN. Scared as hell and tears flowing from her eyes. Taehyung melts seeing her condition, but he won't show cause it's difficult to handle YN in that situations. YN quickly ran towards door and tried to open it, but it's locked, and then she started crying and go towards Taehyung. He is sitting on chair. YN. Taehyung plz. Told nurse to not give me injection. Taehyung. Acting, you don't want that I treat you, then it's okay, she will give you injection. YN. No. No, I am sorry plz. It's so embarrassing if she see my BTT. He can't see her crying and pleading this much that he pull her into his LP and wiped her tears. Taehyung. Shish. Calm down. Baby, we are doctor and it's our work to treat patients and don't feel embarrassed. We all have butts. YN smile slightly. Taehyung. Baby, I will hold you and nurse will give you injection. YN. No, I don't want to take injection from HUR. PLZ, you give me injection. Taehyung. Shocked, ooh, my wifey want to take injection from my hand. Then he dramatically said, but someone said earlier that she hate me. YN. No, I am sorry, I don't mean it. It's just slip from my tongue euro in angry. Then nurse came with injection and drip. YN. PLZ. Tell her to go. Taehyung. Promise you won't show tantrums. YN. Taehyung. What YN. Scared. Promise. Taehyung control his laugh, seen her condition. If someone see that the stricken rude CEO scared and helpless, they definitely laugh. Then Taehyung told nurse to go. He placed YN in bed. He turned to the tray and took injection. The moment she saw the syringe, panic took over. She scrambled backward on the bed. YN. No. Taehyung, please. He was there in a second, pinning her gently but securely against the mattress. Taehyung. Enough. She sobbed. I hate needles. Taehyung. I know, he said firmly. And you're still getting one. She thrashed the tray weakly. He wrapped one arm around her upper body, locking her in place. Taehyung. Hold still, he commanded. Don't do this. YN. I am doing this. Taehyung. YN, you promise that you take injection nicely. His voice lowered near her ear. You don't get to risk your heart just because you're afraid. Then he turn her, but she is in panic state and throw the glass that place inside table. Taehyung hold his anger and call the nurse and tell her to inject her. And then he sit on bed and forcefully take YN in his lap. YN is wiggling. Then he turn her and D-degree WN her P at N-T dollar. And nurse rub W euro T cotton and in dollar ERT the N euro DLE and push the plunger. Medicine goes inside her BTT. She started screaming loudly. YN. Still wiggling. After finishing the injection, nurse took the N euro DLE out and Taehyung rubbed the cotton. YN is still feeling pain, she is crying so much. Then Taehyung lose his grip on her and pull her P at NT up. She quickly get away from his lap and sat beside him in bed. She buried her face in his shoulder, crying hard. YN. Hun. Taehyung. Hold her arm, stay still, he said again. The needle went in. She screamed softly, fingers clawing at his shirt. Nurse took out the N euro DLE. Taehyung. Done, he said seconds later. She collapsed against him, shaking. He didn't let go. He lay her properly in bed. Taehyung. IV next, he said. Nurse gave him needle. He took YN hand in his and carefully inject IV. Later, YN woke up to silence. Not the kind filled with notifications, ringing phones, or overlapping meetings. The dangerous kind. Her eyes fluttered open slowly, lashes heavy. White ceiling. Soft beeping. IV drip beside her bed. Her breath hitched immediately. She tried to sit up. Pain shot through her head. A firm hand pressed her shoulder down instantly. Taehyung. Don't. Taehyung's voice. Low. Calm. Commanding. She turned her head slowly. He was sitting beside her bed, coat gone, sleeves rolled up, hair slightly messy like he'd been there for hours. His eyes were focused, sharp, watching every small movement she made. "Yn. How long?" she croaked. "Taehyung. You were unconscious for 40 minutes, he replied. Her throat tightened. "I need my phone." Taehyung. "No." She frowned weakly. Taehyung. Taehyung. I said no. She tried again, reaching toward the bedside table. He caught her wrist midair. Not harsh. Not gentle. Final. Taehyung. You're not touching work. Yn. I have emails. Taehyung. You have a fever. Yn. I can still. Taehyung. You passed out. He cut in. Again. Her jaw clenched. You can't just shut down my life. He leaned closer, eyes dark. Taehyung. I already did. She stared at him. What? Taehyung. You're on mandatory medical leave, he continued calmly. I called your board. I called your assistant. I postponed everything. Her breath quickened. You had no right. Taehyung. I had every right, he interrupted. You're not fit to make decisions right now. Yn. I run 2 companies. Taehyung. And right now, he said firmly, you can't even sit up without shaking. She looked away, furious tears burning her eyes. You think this makes you powerful? She snapped. Taking control like this. He was quiet for a moment. Then, Taehyung. No, he said. It makes me responsible. He stood, towering over her bed. Here are the rules, he said. You will listen carefully. She laughed bitterly. Rules. Taehyung. Yes. He held up one finger. Rule 1. You stay in this hospital for 24 hours minimum. Yn. No. He didn't react. Rule 2. Complete bed rest. No laptops. No meetings. No calls longer than 5 minutes. She shook her head. Impossible. Rule 3. Fluids, medication, and monitoring. You don't refuse injections again. Her eyes widened. Absolutely not. He leaned down suddenly, face inches from hers. Taehyung. You will. Her voice trembled. You can't threaten me. Taehyung. I'm not threatening you, he said quietly. I'm informing you. She swallowed. Rule 4. He continued. You eat what the dietitian gives you. Even if you hate it. Yn. I don't. Taehyung. You will. She snapped. Yn. Since when do you control me like this? His jaw tightened. Taehyung. Since you stopped protecting yourself. Silence fell between them. She whispered, broken, I don't like feeling helpless. His expression shifted. Not softer, but deeper. You're not helpless, he said. You're human. She turned her face away, tears finally falling freely. You're cruel. He leaned closer and key dollar her forehead. A nurse knocked and entered. Nurse. Drive. Kim. Her next IV. YN tensed instantly, grabbing Taehyung's sleeve. No. He placed his hand over hers, firm. Taehyung. Stay still, he ordered gently but unmistakably. Her fingers tightened around his arm. YN. Don't leave, she whispered. Taehyung. I'm right here, he said. The nurse approached. YN tried to pull away. Taehyung moved fast, one arm wrapping around her shoulders, holding her securely against his chest. Taehyung. Baby, relax, she just changed the drip, nothing touch you. Breathe, he commanded. Don't fight. She buried her face into him, shaking. When the nurse left, he adjusted her blanket, tucked her in properly, checking monitors with a professional eye. Her eyelids drooped. Before sleep took her, she murmured, YN. Stay with me. He sat back down, never removing his hand from hers. Taehyung. I'm not going anywhere, he said. YN. You're not allowed to.